Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Clement, and I'm here in Ternopil City, Ukraine. I want to welcome every one of you to my platform this evening. Let's see who is going to be the first to join us tonight. We're looking at a very important topic today, and I believe that it will be a blessing to you. So let's see who is going to join. Last week I told you that I'm going to resume my live videos today, although I promised I was going to come by 4, but unfortunately I couldn't meet up with that time, but I'm here right now. So I want to welcome every one of you to my platform. And please, as you're coming in, I would like you to help me share the video and then invite people to come, because I believe that they will be blessed today. And today we are doing a topic that is not religious. Throughout last month, I was coming live every day and I was teaching on religious topics. But today we are doing something that is not religious. And so you are free to invite all your friends, whether they are Christians, Muslims, atheists, Buddhists, whoever they are. Let them come. I'm sure they will benefit from what we are discussing today. I can't see who has joined, but I can see 3 persons online. So please, if you're watching me, can you just say hi and let me know where you're watching from? I saw Ogedegbe, Ezekiel. You're welcome on the platform. And please help me share the video and invite your friends to come. Nana Abena, you're welcome on the platform. Thank you for coming. Oluwafemi Ezekiel Jegede, thank you for coming. Please do me a favor, just help me share the video so that we can get more people to come join us today. Today's topic is very, very important, and I wouldn't want to be in a hurry to start, so that those who will come, later will not miss out on what we're discussing. But I'm going to give 2 or 3 more minutes to those who will be joining to come before I start teaching. Okay, there is a new stuff on Facebook. I have to swipe to see who is watching me. Okay, that's good. Aina Matthias, you're welcome on the platform. I'm glad to have you. Now, today, the topic we are looking at is titled, Don't Die with Your Potentials. Don't die with your potentials. I'm sure that you don't want to die with your potentials, but I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't die with your potentials. And I'm going to tell you today that you have got potentials that can turn the world around. You've got potential that can change the world. And that is why I would like you to invite all your friends to come, so that they wouldn't miss out of the discussion tonight. So don't die with your potentials. Please, I haven't seen anybody who shared the video. Could you help me share the link so that we get more people to join us? If you know anybody who you don't want the person to die with his or her potentials, please invite them to come. It was Dr. Miles Monroe who said that the wealthiest place on the face of the earth, the richest place on the face of the earth is the graveyard. And he said that because a lot of people go to the grave, they die with unfulfilled potentials. There are people who are lying down there in the grave who did not achieve what they would have been able to achieve. And so they went down to the grave with their potentials. There are people who would have been bank managers. There are people who would have invented the cure, to different diseases. But they didn't know what they were capable of doing. And then they died without doing that which they would have been able to do. And that is why this topic is very important today. Victor, you're welcome on the platform. Jennifer, you're welcome on the platform. Congratulations to you on your wedding, Jennifer. I wish you a happy married life. So, we are looking at a topic that says, don't die with your potential. I want to say that again. Don't die with your potential. Now, I'm not saying don't die. I'm not saying don't die. I'm saying don't die with your potentials. It is more important to me that you fulfill your potentials, that you reach your potentials, than whether you die or you live. Death, to me, is nothing. What matters is whether or not you reached your potentials, whether or not you fulfilled your potentials. Now, somebody who has fulfilled his potentials can decide to die, and it will not be a tragedy. If I have fulfilled my potentials and I die, it is not a tragedy. It is not worth weeping over. Why? Because I came here, I came to the earth only because I have certain potentials that I have to fulfill. And if I have fulfilled that potential, then I'm free to die, and it's not a tragedy. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying don't die. You are free to die, but only after you have fulfilled your potentials. And if you have fulfilled your potentials and then you die, the world will celebrate you. And then your death will not be a tragedy. So today, I want to challenge every one of you by saying, first of all, that there is no human being on the face of the earth who does not have potential. Everything that exists on the face of the earth exists only because of the word potential. In fact, if you look around you today, everything that you can see is only visible because of one word, and that word is potential. Now, the word potential, for me, is one of the most important words in the world and in the dictionary. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Now, the whole earth exists only because of potential. Are you aware that there was a time where everything you see on the earth today were not available? There was a time where we had no cars. There was a time where there were no aeroplanes. There was a time when there was no phone. There was a time when there were no buildings. There was a time when there was no clothes. People didn't have clothes to wear. But today, all of these things I mentioned, they are in existence. But I'm saying to you that they are only in existence because of one word, and that word is called potential. Now, what is potential? And why is potential so important a word? Now, potential simply means ability, unused ability. Potential only means the possibility to become something, or the possibility to produce something. Samuel Dixon, you're welcome on the platform. And Flower, you're welcome on the platform. God bless you. There's someone that I saw on the platform who just came in. Goa Mora, you are welcome on the platform. So, I'm saying Don't die with your potential. But what is potential? Potential is simply your ability to become, or your ability to produce, your ability to give birth to something. Now, if potential is ability, then we could say that potential is a form of energy. Now, for those of you who did physics and chemistry in secondary school, you would have heard of the word potential energy. And they define potential energy as stored energy, as unused energy. Now, and then we could say that when a body is stagnant in a place, that body has within it potential energy. But that potential energy, for example, for a car, that potential energy can be converted into what is called kinetic energy. That is the energy in motion. In other words, the car is no longer where it used to be. The car has moved from where it used to be. So the word potential is always talking about future. The word potential is not in the past. The word potential is futuristic. It is talking about what you can do, what you are capable of doing in the future, or what you are capable of becoming in the future. So, potential is one of the most important words in the dictionary. And I said that everything you see today exists only because of that word called potential. Now, the whole universe exists because of potential. Now, before God created the heavens and the earth, there was a time when there was no heaven and earth. Because I would say in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So before that creation, heaven and earth were not visible. They only existed in the form of potential. I just said something striking now. Now, before the heavens and the earth were created, heaven and earth existed only as potential, only as a possibility. They existed only as something that is going to happen in the future. And that potential was in God himself. But you see, potential is useless if it is not converted. As important as the word potential, it is of no value if it is not converted. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, I could have a potential for something. I could have the potential of making an aeroplane, but until I convert that potential into actually making an aeroplane, then that my potential is useless. Now, I could say, for example, that I have the cure, or I have the ability to produce a drug that will cure AIDS. Now, I'm only saying it that I have the ability to do it. Now, that ability is just potential. But until I go work out that my potential and produce that drug, my potential is of no use to anybody. So, everything you see in existence today existed because there was a word called potential. But that potential did not just remain as potential. That potential was actually converted, or that potential became what it was supposed to become. So I said earlier that potential is what you are able to become. Potential is your ability, the unused ability that you have. or the ability you have to produce something is called potential. So for God, in the beginning, he converted his potential. And that potential, that is heaven and earth, that you are seeing today, you are only seeing heaven and earth today because it first existed in the mind of God as potential. But until God converted that his potential into creating the heaven and the earth, there was no heaven and earth. So we only see heaven and earth today because God converted that potential that was in him into visible reality. Now, I told you that there was a time when we didn't have cars, but the ability to produce cars was hidden in man. Now, that ability was in man, but until man knew that he had the ability to produce cars, in other words, until man discovered that potential and then produced cars, we didn't have cars. So you have a car today only because somebody converted that potential, that ability to produce cars, into actually producing cars. So that is why we have cars today. And the same is true for everything that exists today. So I want to start today by saying that the word potential is one of the most important words in the dictionary, and that word potential is always talking about the future, what you can do, not what you have done, but what you can do. Now, if I say, for example, I want to produce, I have the ability to produce a car, and then I produce that car. Immediately I produce that car, that ability is no longer a potential, because I have already used the potential, because we said that potential is unused ability. So once I produce that car, what I have done, I have used that ability. So it is no longer a potential. So it's just like a car that had potential energy converted to kinetic energy. As soon as the car is set in motion and is moving, we're not talking about potential energy again. We're not talking about kinetic energy. So potential is stored ability, unused ability. So that is the definition for potential. And potential is what you are capable of becoming. And the second thing I want you to know, apart from the definition, is that there is nobody on the face of the earth who is without potential. There is no one person on the face of the earth who is without potential. Everybody has got potential. Everybody has got ability for something. Everybody has been made with the ability to become something. And for those of us who believe in God, I want you to know that God himself is full of potentials. That is why he was able to create the heavens and the earth, because he had potential. Now, not just that he has potential, he has numerous potential. And that is why we call God omnipotent. Omnipotent. He has numerous abilities. But I'm saying today that it is not only God who has numerous abilities. I'm saying today that every human being also has numerous abilities, also has numerous potentials. And why is it so? Because man was made in the image and in the likeness of God. So if God is omnipotent, if God has numerous potentials, and man is made in his image, then man also has numerous abilities. Now, what I just said now, an understanding of this statement, that humans have numerous potentials. An understanding of that word could make anybody at all become great in life. Just an understanding of the fact that you have numerous potentials, just like God has. That understanding can turn your life around overnight. If you can put it in your mind, just understand that you are full of potentials. If that gets into your head, there is nothing that you cannot achieve on the face of the earth. If you can just understand that you are full of potentials, there are potentials that are hidden deep within you, unused, untapped energy, unexpressed, unconverted energy that you have. If that gets into your head, then you are ready to become anything at all you want to become in life. Because we said that potential is the ability to become that which you want to become. And so, having said that, the third thing I want to say is that because everybody has potential, then everybody can become great in life. I want to say that again. Because everybody has potentials, because everybody has the ability to become whatever they want to become, then everybody can become great in life. It is not only Bill Gates that could become as wealthy as he is. It is not only Warren Buffett that could become as wealthy as he is. It is not only Mark Zuckerberg that could design something like Facebook. It is not only Steve Jobs that has the ability to make a phone like the iPhone. Potentials are not peculiar to some certain people. God has placed potentials in every human being so that everybody will have equal chance to succeed in life. So I'm saying to you today that the people that we look at and we say, oh, these ones are great people, it is not because they have potentials alone and then you don't have potentials. It is simply because they discovered their potentials. It is simply because they found out what they could become and they worked towards it and became what they have become. So I am saying today that it doesn't matter where you are. You could be in the poorest village in Africa. You have as much potential as someone who is living in the United States. You could be the darkest person on the face of the earth. You have as much potential as any white man. So potentials are not determined by genes. Potentials are not determined by chromosomes. God has placed potential in everybody. And potential is not determined by location. So that you don't begin to think, oh, I don't have the potential to become great. Or I don't have the potential to be like Steve Jobs. Or I don't have the potential. No. We all have potential. But I'm saying today that potential on its own is useless if not converted. But the first thing you need to do, the first thing you need to be convinced about is that you have potential within you. And if you agree with me that you have potential within you, then the next thing you want to do is to discover what potential you have. If you believe with me already that you have so many potentials on your inside, then you can begin to say like Paul, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Now that statement, I can do all things, is a statement of an understanding of potential. Apostle Paul understood the importance of potentials. So he knew what abilities he had. And so he could say, I can do all things. Now, it is not only Apostle Paul who can do all things. You and I also can do all things. Why? Because we have potential to become whatever we want to become in life. So 3 things I have said. The first thing is that potential, the word potential, is very important. And that everything that you see today exists only because of the word potential. And it is potential that gives birth to everything that you see on the face of the earth today. Why? Because everything that exists today once existed as potential. Everything that is visible today once existed in the invisible realm of the mind as potential. So, anything that will exist tomorrow, anything that is not in existence now, is already existing in the invisible realm, but it is existing as potential. But that potential cannot be of any value, of any importance to anybody, until that person discovers the potential and then convert that potential into visible realities, into tangible products. So we say potential is the ability to become or the ability to produce in the future. So that is the second thing. And then the third thing is, because God himself is omnipotent and he made man after his image and his likeness, then every human being on earth has got so much potential on his inside. There is nobody who is born without potentials. There is nobody on the face of the earth who is empty without potentials. We all have potentials to become that which we have been created to become. We all have potentials to produce that which we have been born to produce. And I said that for me, your fulfillment of potential is more important to me than death. Why? Because if a man dies at the age of 20 or at the age of 30, but that man had lived out his potential, that man fulfilled his potential, that man used all the abilities that God has placed on his inside, then that man is a great man. That man is a successful man. Then such a death is not tragedy at all. But if a man lives up to 70 or 80 years without fulfilling his potential, without becoming what he would have become, without producing what he was born to produce, then such a man, even though he lived 70 years, such a man is a failure. Such a man is going to enrich the grave. For your potentials are not needed in the grave. Potentials are of no value in the grave. Potentials are only needed here on earth. Potentials are only important while you are still alive. And that is why I came to you tonight to say to you, don't die with your potentials. There is so much on your inside that you can do. There is so much that you can become. But listen to me. I don't want you to walk around with the mentality that, oh, I cannot become, I can't do this, I can't do that. No. You have the ability to do that which you set your heart to do. You have the potential to become that which you were born to become. So you can say like Apostle Paul, I can do all things. If you understand the importance of potentials, then you know that there is nothing on the face of the earth that you cannot do. There is nothing that anybody has ever done that you cannot repeat. Anything that anybody has ever achieved on the face of the earth can be achieved by another person. Anything that anybody has ever done on the face of the earth can be done by another person. Why? Because I said that we all have been given numerous potentials. And that potential means that you have the ability to become that which you set your heart to become. You have the ability to do that which you have been born to do. So if you have not discovered your potentials, I want you to begin to look inward. Deep within you is a well of potential. Buried on your inside is a mine, a gold mine of potentials. That is why you cannot afford to die without fulfilling those potentials. That is why you cannot afford to leave the earth without maximizing those potentials. Because in the grave, the potentials are not needed. Now the question is, why do we have potentials? Why did God place potential in everybody? Now the reason is because God knows. I want to make a statement now. Now if you look at the earth today, look at the world today, maybe in your room you have a chair. There is a chair in your room. There is a chair in your room now. Or there is a phone. You have a phone with you. Do you know God did not create phone? It was not God who created phone. It was not God who made the chair that you are sitting on. God created the heavens and the earth. Good, true. But the rug in your house was not created by God. Your television was not created by God. So, why did God give potentials to men? God gave potentials to men so that men can become creators. God gave potentials to men so that men can become producers. God gave potentials to men so that men can make the world a better place. God gave potentials to men so that men can further the plan of God on the face of the earth. So everything you see that exists on the face of the earth today exists only because people converted their potentials. They did not leave their potentials in a state, in a dormant state. They converted their potentials. So if I have a chair in my room, that chair is existing because somebody converted what was lying deep within him unused. The person converted it into a chair. So God gave man potential so that man can become a creator. That is why I want to say to you today that even though God created the heavens and the earth, but God is not the only creator. God has made man with the ability to create, with the potential to produce. And why is it important? It is important because if we fail to produce that which we have been made to produce, if we fail to create that which we have been, created to produce, then we deprive the world of our contributions to it. The reason why you have potential is because that your potential is needed by some people on the face of the earth. The reason why you have potential is because your potential was given to you so that you can use that potential to better the earth. So if I fail to discover my potentials and convert my potentials, I will be depriving the earth of my contributions to the earth. Now just imagine that we don't have aeroplanes. Can you imagine how long it would take for you to travel from one continent to another? What if the Wright brothers, for example, did not discover their potential? They did not convert that potential into an aeroplane. We would still be suffering today the problem of transportation, intercontinental transportation. So your potential is needed to better the world. Your potential is a gift actually to the world. And that is why you must not fail the world. You must not let the world down by dying with your potentials. That is why I want to say to every one of you today, ask yourself, if I die today, can I say that I truly fulfilled my potential? If I leave the earth today, can I boast and say that I did everything I was capable of doing? And if your answer is a no, then you are depriving the world of your contribution to it. You are depriving the world of the solution that you would have provided. Another reason why God gave you potentials is because potentials, when converted, give birth to solutions. If there is any problem that is existing on the face of the earth today, somebody is carrying the potential to solve that problem. There is no problem that exists today without a solution. But that solution is lying deep down inside somebody, just as potential. But if that person does not discover that potential and then convert the potential, we will have no solution to that particular problem. So, why am I coming to you today with this? I'm coming to you today to tell you that you will be a failure if you die with your potential. Now, the question is, do you really mean I have potential? I mean, Clem, are you saying that I have the ability to become what I want to become? Are you saying that I have all abilities to produce what I've been born to produce? My answer to your questions is yes. You have the ability to become whatsoever you want to become. You have the ability to produce whatsoever you want to produce. But can I tell you why you have not been producing what you are supposed to produce? Can I tell you why most people on the face of the earth do not fulfill their potentials? The number one reason is because people do not even know that they have potentials in them. People are not even aware what they are capable of doing. People live their life with the mentality of, limitation. People limit themselves. Why? Because they don't know that they have the potential to do that thing that they have always wanted to do. So, the number one reason why people don't fulfill their potential is because people have limited themselves. And that limitation is a product of their ignorance. Because the greatest limitation on the face of the earth is ignorance. So a man who lived 70 years old and never fulfilled his potential, never even discovered his potentials, such a man failed simply because of ignorance. Not because he didn't have potentials, but because he didn't know what potential he had on his inside. That is why the number one reason why people do not fulfill their potential is ignorance. People are limited in their mind. They don't know that they can become whatsoever they want to become. They don't know that they have a well of abilities on their inside. And so the first thing I want to say to you today is that you must begin to walk with that knowledge, with that understanding that you have the ability, you have the potential to become that which you want to become. That is number one. That is the first reason why people don't fulfill their potential. They don't know that they can. They are always saying, oh, I can't do it. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I have the ability. I don't think I'm qualified. I don't think I stand at an advantage. People do not believe in themselves. That's the second reason why people don't fulfill their potentials. One, they don't know they have potentials. Two, people do not believe in themselves. People do not believe in their potential. Have you ever told somebody before that you can do this, and the person say, oh no, I can't do it? Now, I can't do it is a statement of unbelief in potential. Anybody who is saying, oh, I can't do it, I don't think I have the ability to do it, you have already defeated yourself. Your number one defeat is your unbelief in your potentials. So I want to say to you today that if you must fulfill your potentials, then you must first of all know that you have potentials, and then secondly, you must believe in your potential. You must believe in what you are capable of doing. Your mindset must be that of I can. I know I can do all things. I know I can achieve it. I know I can do it. When you walk with that mentality of I can, yes I can, then you are on your way to greatness already. You are on your way to success already. You are on your way to becoming an achiever already. But people who say they can't do it, they are the ones that go to the grave with their potentials. People who say, oh, I don't think I have what it takes, they are those who die with their potentials. They are those who go to enrich the grave. And I told you before that Dr. Mike Monroe said that the grave is the wealthiest place on the face of the earth. Why? Because lying deep down in the grave are unfulfilled potentials. Lying deep down in the grave are books that were not written. Lying deep down in the grave were music albums that were not produced. Lying deep down in the grave were drugs to cure different diseases that were not produced. Lying deep down in the grave were cars that were never manufactured. Lying deep down in the grave were articles that were never written. Lying deep down in the grave were products that were never produced. Why? Because all of these people died with the mentality of I cannot. They said to themselves, I don't think I can do it. And they died with that potential. The potential was there, just waiting to be activated. Every one of us has got potential waiting to be activated. But people, because they don't believe that they can do that which they have been born to do, they fail to maximize, they fail to fulfill their potentials, and they end up going to the grave with it where it is not needed. And so I want to say to every one of you today, if there is one thing that you must take home from this video, is the fact that you can do all things. You have the potential, you have the ability to do whatsoever you set out your heart to do. Let no man tell you that you cannot. Let no man put a limitation on you. Let no man look down on you. Let no man despise your abilities. And you also do not despise your abilities, because I told you that you were made in the image and in the likeness of God. And God is omnipotent, and he has given unto you numerous potentials also. And if God puts those potentials in you, then he knows that you can fulfill them. That is why I want to challenge every one of you today. Look inside yourself. What are the dreams that you have? What are the goals that you have? What are the plans that you have? I want you to know that it doesn't matter what dream, what goal, or what plan, or what vision that you have, that you can do it. You can fulfill it. You have what it takes to fulfill it. And so one other reason why people don't fulfill their potential is because a lot of people don't even have goals and visions and dreams at all. A lot of people are just doing things that society tells them to do. They don't have their own plan, their own vision of what they want to do. And so there is nothing that is stretching them. There is nothing they are pursuing to achieve. And because they are not pursuing anything, they remain in the state of potential. Because they are not moving to achieve anything, they live with their potentials stored, unused on their inside. That is why everybody must have a goal. Everybody must have a dream. Everybody must develop a vision for his or her life. It is when you develop visions and dreams and goals for your life that you stretch yourself to reach, to maximize your potentials. But if you have no goals, you have no vision, you have no dreams, your potentials will just remain there. You will never try anything out in life. You will never attempt anything because you have no goals and you have no potential. So the number one reason why people do not fulfill their potential is one, ignorance. They don't even know that they have potential. Two, they don't believe in their potential. Even when they have discovered their potential, they still do not believe that they can do it, that they can achieve it. And because of that, they do not fulfill their potential. And the third reason why people do not fulfill their potential is because people do not have goals. They don't have visions. There is nothing that is pushing them. They are not pursuing anything. So they are just relaxed. And they don't know what they would have become if they had set out a goal and then pursue that goal. So their potential is lying deep down there with them. The fourth reason why people don't fulfill their potential is because of the love for comfort zones. Because of the desire to remain in comfort zones. Almost everybody on the face of the earth likes it easy. They don't want stress. They want to remain where it is comfortable. They don't want to, go beyond their comfort zones. Comfort zones are comfortable, but comfort zones make people die with their potentials. Comfort zones are comfortable, but comfort zones turn people into failures. Why? Because when you love to remain in your comfort zone, you will never stretch your potential. You will never become what you would have become. And when people sit down in comfort zones, you know what they say? They say, oh, I'm comfortable here. I don't think I can go further. I'm okay. I'm just okay here. I'm okay. I'm okay here. Now, to stay in comfort zone is to sign a contract with mediocrity. People who remain in comfort zones become mediocre in life. People who remain in comfort zones do not maximize their potentials. And because they don't maximize their potentials, people do not reckon with them. Because they have not produced anything, they have not invented anything, they have not done anything, they have not attempted anything. They are just comfortable in their comfort zones. And comfort zones is an enemy. Comfort zone is an enemy to progress. Comfort zone is an enemy to greatness. Comfort zone is an enemy to achieving that which you would have achieved in life. So I want to say to you, don't stay in your comfort zone. If you don't want to die with your potentials, then you better get out of your comfort zone and begin to stretch yourself. Begin to do that thing that you think that you cannot do. Begin to take the first step, the second step, and the third step. And you will find out that you can achieve whatever goal you have set for yourself to achieve. So, potentials will never be converted into products. Potentials will never be converted into visible realities, into tangible products, when you remain in your comfort zone. So you got to run out of your comfort zone and go do that thing that you think that you cannot do. In fact, I want to say to you that just the thought of it alone, if that thing ever crossed your mind at all, then you can do it. If that thought ever came to you, then the thought came to your mind because you have the potential to bring it to pass. So stop limiting yourself. Stop looking down on yourself. Do not belittle your abilities, because you have a well of potentials on your inside. You can become that which you have been created to become. Another reason, I think the fifth reason why people do not fulfill their potential is a word that is spelled F-E-A-R. Fear. Fear is an enemy to fulfilling potential. The reason why most people have not achieved that which they are able to achieve is because of fear. Fear tells them, what if I try and I fail? What if it doesn't work out? What if this thing happens on the way? What if? And what if is a statement of fear. And today I'm simply saying that I'm afraid that if I try this thing, it may not work out. And if it doesn't work out, people will laugh at me. Pride. So fear and pride are two obstacles to maximizing potentials. You know very well that inside of you is a book, but you have not written that book because you are like, oh, what if I write the book and people don't like the book? Or what if I write the book and people say I wrote rubbish? Or what if I write the book and then the book doesn't make sense? Fear. What if I produce this music and it doesn't sell? What if I do? What if? So fear is an obstacle to fulfilling potential. So the fifth reason why people do not fulfill their potential is because of fear. And I want to say to you today, don't allow fear limit you. Don't allow fear to deprive you of that which you would have achieved. If the potential is in you, then you have the ability to maximize it. Somebody said to me sometime when I was doing my first degree in Nigeria, a guy who was reading electrical engineering told me, he was in final year, and he said to me, he said that he has the ability to graduate with a first class. I mean, he told me that he knows that he has the ability to graduate with a first class. But he was already in final year, and his result was not showing anything first class at all. His result is already showing, second class lower. But he told me that he knows that he had the ability for first class. He had the potential. So what was the problem? He knew he had the potential to get first class. But here he's graduating with second class lower. What happened? All of these things I'm listing now. And I'm going to list the next thing that probably happened to that guy why he didn't get a first class, even though he knew it. Now for him to know, to be telling me that means he believed that he would have been able to get a first class. That is the potential he had. But he left with a 2-2. Why? That is the next thing I want to say now. The next reason why people do not fulfill their potentials is called laziness. Laziness is the sixth reason why people do not fulfill their potential. Let me tell you, everybody naturally hates hard work. Man naturally hates hard work. And so people would rather stay on the side of laziness than work hard to fulfill their potential. So when you are lazy, even though you know you have the potential to do this thing, you will still not do it. Simply because you are lazy. Simply because you do not want to work hard. No wonder I read a quotation that said that opportunities, most people miss opportunities because opportunities is dressed up. It's camouflaged. Opportunity is wearing a robe that looks like hard work. And so as soon as people see the robe and it is written hard work on it, they don't know that there are opportunities hidden within that robe. But because that robe is written hard work, people run away from it. Not knowing that they are running away from opportunities. And why do people run away from hard work? Because people love laziness. And it is because of laziness that people do not maximize, do not fulfill their potentials. So if you don't want to go to the grave with your potentials, you better disconnect yourself from laziness. You better fall in love and befriend hard work. Because no man has ever gotten to the top without hard work. No man has ever become an achiever without hard work. All lazy people never get to the top. Lazy people are not known. Nobody reckons with a lazy man. Why? Because lazy people always die with their potential. They die with their potential. So that is why you must begin to put in the hard work. Once you discover your potential, you must do the necessary work that is needed to convert that potential into that thing that you are capable of doing. So laziness is the sixth reason why people do not fulfill their potential. So somebody knows that he has the ability, the potential for a first class, and yet he's graduating with a 2-2. Why? Laziness. Now, it is not enough to just know that you have the potential. Because I told you earlier that the potential is of no use if it is not maximized. The potential is useless if it is not converted. The potential will benefit nobody if you don't work hard on it to make it into a product. So, know that you have potential. Believe that you can become that which you want to become. And then work hard towards becoming that which you were born to become. And that's why I said to you that you can do all things. You can do all things. You have the potential for all things. You can. Now, if I have potential and I do not fulfill my potential, I will end up going to the grave full of potentials. I will be a king of potentials in the grave. But nobody needs those potentials in the grave. So, it is better to die empty. It is better to use up all your potentials before you die. And you may be looking and say, oh, I still have 20 more years to live. I still have 30 more years to live. Can I tell you the truth? You do not know what will happen to you the next minute. You do not even know how many more years you have to live. And so, for every year of your life, there are potential that you are supposed to maximize. And so, if you live 40 years without maximizing those potentials will just remain there. And you will go to the grave with them. And if you do that, you have become a failure. So I want to say to you today that you must not die with your potentials. You must, by the time I'm dying, I want to die empty. I want to have used up all my potentials at the point of my death. So that I could say that I finished my course, like Apostle Paul said. So that I could say that it is finished, like Jesus said. Why? Because they finished what they were born to do. They maximized their potentials. And until you are able to say that I have finished my course, I have used up all the potential in me, you are not yet a successful person. You are not yet a great person. So, for you to be truly a great man, you must be able to say, at the point of your death, that I know that I achieved all that I was supposed to achieve. That I did all that I was born to do. And so I want to charge you as I begin to round off now, that if you really want to say at the end of the day that you fulfilled all your potential, if you really want to say that, then you must do the 6 things I said. 1, you must discover, you must know that you have potential. 2, you must believe that you can achieve those potentials. 3, you must eliminate fear from your life. You must stop saying, oh, I don't think I can. What if I fail? You must not do that. 4, you must make sure that you are not into any kind of relationship with laziness. You must make sure that you are putting in the necessary hard work to become that which you have been born to become. 5, you must set up goals. You must have a plan and a vision for your life. A vision that will stretch you, that will make you stretch your potentials. A vision that will make you keep attempting until you get it. A vision that will push you out of your comfort zone. And the sixth thing is that you must get out of your comfort zone if you don't want to die with your potentials. Because those potentials are not needed in the grave. And so I want to say to you as I close that there is a book on your inside. Go and begin to write it. You have the potential to become a writer. You have the potential to write your own books, and generations to come are waiting for that book. Do not deprive them of that solution that your book will carry. I want to say to you that you have the potential to write your own song. You have the potential to become a producer of your own songs. Generations to come are waiting for that song of hope. People are waiting for that song that will bring a solution to their problem. Nations are waiting for that song. You have the potential to produce that song. So, go, take the step and begin to produce that song. I want to say to you that you have the potential to give birth to that scientific invention. The Wright brothers are not better than you. Isaac Newton is not better than you. Albert Einstein is not better than you. Everybody who ever invented anything at all did not have more potential than you. And so if you have a calling, if you are moved with passion in the scientific field, then go. I'm saying to you today, you have the ability, you have the potential to invent that thing that your mind is telling you that you can invent. You can. And don't begin to say, oh, they have invented everything already, so there's nothing to invent again. It's a lie. I told you that potential is always futuristic. Now, if everything has been invented, then people no longer have potentials. But I'm saying to you today that people still have potentials, and you still have the potential to produce that which has not been produced. There was a time when people said, oh, everything has been invented already. I'm not sure there will be no new invention again. And even at then, there were no televisions. And then there were no cars. At the time, people say, okay, now we have cars, we have television, we have everything. I'm not sure there will be any invention again. And then phones began to spring up everywhere. Different kinds of phones, laptops, different things began to spring up. Facebook, different things, Microsoft started coming. So I want to say to you, don't ever believe that everything has been invented. There is an invention on your inside. You have the potential to invent. Yes, Henry, you wrote a comment. Indeed, my generation is waiting to hear my song of hope. Yes, the whole world is waiting for that song on your inside. So I'm charging you today that you can do it. Listen, we knew of Beethoven. We heard of Beethoven. We read his biography. But I want to say to you that, you can be better than Beethoven. You can be better than Beethoven. You can be better than Mozart. Anybody who ever did anything in music in time past, I'm saying to you that you have the potential to do better than them. So if your calling is into music, go. You have the potential. Go and transform that world. If your potential is into medicine, the best drugs have not been discovered yet. There are a lot of drugs, but if that is your area, I'm saying to you that there are better drugs living inside of you as potential. Because potentials are always on your inside, and they will remain there until you activate them. So the best drugs have not been made yet. So I'm saying to you, you still have the potential to make better drugs. the best cars have not been made yet. You still have the potential to manufacture better drugs. Now, for some of you, you are into spoken word. You can talk. And you look around and say, oh, this guy is a spoken word poet. This guy, is into spoken word. I don't think that I can do as much as they're doing. No. You have the potential to do better than what any other person has done. In fact, the fact that somebody has done it before gives you an advantage to do better. You can better what anybody has done before. So there is a potential on your inside. Go there and begin to bring out the spoken word. Go and write all the lyrics and begin to give hope to people. You can do it. For some of you, there is a blog on your inside. For some of you, there is a TV station on your inside, lying down there as a potential. There is a school inside of you, lying down there as a potential. There is a microfinance bank lying down there as a potential. There is a church on your inside. There is a magazine on your inside. There are textbooks on your inside. There is a saloon on your inside. There is a supermarket inside of you. There is a business that is lying deep down inside of you as a potential. I'm saying to you today that all of these potentials that you have, go and begin to work hard, believing that you can become that you can maximize those potentials. And I want to say to you that it won't be long. The world will begin to celebrate you. It won't be long. You will become known as someone who will leave a legacy behind after he's gone. People who maximize potentials always leave legacies behind after they die. And in fact, people who maximize their potentials, they don't even die. They live forever. Because even after their death, they are still living. Their products still live on. That is why I can have an Apple product, I can have an iPhone today, even though Steve Jobs is dead. So Steve Jobs is still alive today in the form of an iPhone. If Bill Gates dies tomorrow, he will still be alive because Microsoft will still be alive. Why? Because they all converted their potential. The Wright brothers, they are still alive because we still have the aeroplanes. Thomas Edison is still alive because we still have the electric bulb. So when you maximize your potential, you live forever. Because you have emptied yourself of your potentials. Your potentials are blessing the earth, giving hope to people. And then you go to the grave empty. You go to the grave empty. But your potentials are still alive, so you don't die in the real sense. Men who fulfill their potentials, they live on. That is why I want you to know today that you can become that which you want to become. Just believe and eliminate all fear from your life. And then you will become that which you want to become. I'm going to come back next week to tell you practical ways on how you can maximize your potential. I'm going to give you step-by-step approach of how to first of all discover your potential, and then how to maximize your potential and how to convert your potential into tangible products that will be a blessing to the world. So I want to thank every one of you. I want to thank every one of you for coming. Henry, you said, can I have a copy of this message? Yes, you can have it. Just share the video now. Once you share the video, it will remain on your timeline, and so you can download it anytime. I can tell you how to download it. Just inbox me. I will tell you how to download, the video. So thank you, everyone. Miriam, Jude, you say, yes, you are right, man of God. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. I love every one of you. Powerful message. Can I have a copy? Henry, yes, you can have a copy. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I appreciate your presence. All that is left now is for you to go and fulfill and maximize your potential. Stop talking about what you have done in the past. That is gone already. It is no longer a potential. Potential is futuristic. It is what you can still do. It is what is still possible. So don't look backward. Forget about the past. You did all that. It is good. But look forward, because potential is always in the future. And so go and maximize your potential. Thank you, every one of you. I would like you to still help me share the link so that more people will listen to it even after we're done. Thank you so much. God bless you. Do have a lovely evening. Bye to every one of you.